Information to help you run your business better and improve your marketing campaigns. My name is Hank Hoffmeyer, and thank you for joining me on Hank's Marketing and Business Tips. Welcome to episode 309 of the HMBT Podcast. This episode is sponsored by AnyPost, a developer-first API for transactional and broadcast email sending, runs on bare metal servers instead of marked up cloud servers. So your cost per email actually drops as you scale, down to 5 cents per thousand email sends, with the same email deliverability that you'll get with other providers. I appreciate AnyPost supporting the show. Today, I have Cheri Martinen with me. She is the managing principal and equity owner of One Digital. Cheri has built and sold a multi-million-dollar insurance agency and now works with growing small businesses to find coverage gaps before a contract or claim finds them first. I love that statement. Cheri, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
It's interesting that you have an insurance background and marketing, because I guess a lot of insurance companies historically have never really done that great at marketing. Maybe State Farm, but because they have Jake, right, the State Farm guy. But mostly insurance companies are kind of dry and don't do a lot about marketing. But first, tell me about how you grew your company and then sold it. That's an amazing story.
Yeah, so my parents actually owned an insurance agency when I was growing up, and they learned how to market their insurance agency from a man named Michael Jans. And they started with their very first campaign, which they called the battery campaign. They put a battery in an envelope and mailed it. This was a long time ago. You can't do that anymore. And they said, change your battery of your fire alarm. Give us a call for your home insurance. My mom sent it out for the very first time. My dad called her up, like what the next day was like, what the heck did you do? Like, people are calling us. They like want us to like write their homeowners insurance. Like, what did you do? And she was like, yeah, okay, this marketing thing works, right? So that was the very beginning. They've been doing it for a long time. I went to school for marketing. I got out of school. I was freelancing as a marketer. And my mom said, I think we're thinking about selling the business. And I was like, no. And she said, what are you going to do about it? And I said, hold my beer, because I was young. And I went and I got my license. I got my property casualty life and health license all in a month. I came back to work with my parents. I worked with them until I bought the agency from them. And I continued running the agency as a marketing agency, marketing forward. And when One Digital came, it felt like a good people fit. I'd been wanting to expand to help more businesses in more states across the United States with some of our specific niches. And it seemed like a really good fit to help us do that and help more people. One Digital also has a whole suite of other people that do amazing things with them, which allows us to help those businesses in more ways too. So I know it doesn't seem like a normal thing, but I've been a marketer and specifically for insurance. And then one of the things I will say, like at the beginning, you say you don't think about marketing and insurance. Insurance companies spend more money on marketing than I think you realize. And I'll just list off a couple. Progressive, Flow with Progressive. We got Geico. You got State Farm. You're in good hands with Allstate. Liberty Bibberty. We've got the General. We've got, oh gosh, there's just so many. You already said State Farm, right? State Farm is a really big one. They do a great job. I always see them everywhere. So it is a really interesting niche, and it is a lot of fun.
Well, that's a good point. It's probably, I said that probably because you become numb to it, that there's so much marketing, especially TV still, or digital, what do you call it? Video ads, right? You're going to see them on social media, and everyone you just mentioned, I can, see what they're doing. You got Flow, and then you got what is that? The bird or whatever with
I was like, you don't even want to know my paperclip cost. Like like I remember the first time I was like, I'm going to try paid advertising. And I went in there for auto insurance and went,
yeah.
Like, clutch my pearls. Like,
I love the
excuse
battery
me?
idea. At least they weren't lithium batteries, right?
I know,
Probably.
right? Right.
But that's awesome. I mean, that's thinking outside the box, which is the same thing now. You need to get people to stop scrolling or look and watch your ad and then actually pay attention to your call to action and then not think that it's, something trying to either steal my data or it's not what it is choked up to be,
Scam.
right? And it's funny too, because I do a lot of public speaking and I always talk about like if you're a small business owner, service operator, and you want to do an email newsletter, really the only thing you need is the first name and an email address, right? Because above and beyond that, nobody's going to give a lot of information like what color's your car, your favorite color, how much money you made last year. If you're just going to buy sneakers and get a coupon code for sneakers, you're not going to give all that information. But I always say, well, if you're in insurance, you may need to provide more information to get a quote, which is okay.
Yeah, I know. I know.
So let's
You know,
talk about some of the great things that you've, I guess, learned and implemented at your agency when it comes to marketing, because a lot of folks that follow are either small business owners. And, I do have some like enterprise level marketers or CMOs that listen to the show as well, but a majority of folks are going to be smaller businesses. So let's talk about some of the things that you have found to be successful.
yeah, we're a small business, right? Before I joined One Digital, I had 15 employees. We were small. I'm located in a small town in Oregon. We do like we insure all that we call mom and pops, insure Main Street, right? And we still do. But one of the things that, like I said, I think that was our success was marketing. So we use a system called ACOR, A for attract, C for convert, O for optimize, and R for retain.
I like it.
I know, right? So A, attract, I think that's the sexy part of marketing. It's the part we all talk about. It's getting the leads in. That's for us, that was a lot of content marketing. Actually, we did a ton of free content marketing. So blogging, I know, really old school, but we did it for years and we still do it. Um, I've got thousands of blogs. I got to the point where I got so many blogs that I had to start condensing my blogs and then routing the good ones into the other ones, which just means we've done it for a long time. And we do a lot with like video was more recent. So when I took over, I was like, we need to get on YouTube. We need it so people can search us on YouTube or Google and find our insurance knowledge. So I started doing a lot more video podcasts, just like this one, telling people about insurance products, right? So a lot of it is content and creating trust. Because, like you said, when we ask for stuff in the insurance industry, we're not just asking for a name and an email, we're asking for their VIN number of their car and their driver's license and their date of birth. Like we're getting personal.
Mhm.
So ACOR, I think that's the fun part. That's the part I think everybody thinks of. And of course, as this is old school as well, like going to the chamber, shaking people's hands, getting to know people. That that also is really, really important,
Yes.
at least for our small town. I don't know if I feel like it's everywhere, but yeah,
Yeah.
referrals. Referrals are still a great source of business.
I don't think enough people put enough emphasis there or have like a referral bonus. All the I'm so used to SaaS companies and I've worked for SaaS companies for a long time and there's, affiliate programs where, you give a link and then you get that. But like not everybody wants to pay for a platform to do that, but offer, hey, if you refer someone to us, I'll give you X. I think that that is the best and cheapest way. One of the cheapest ways to get additional customers is through those referrals. I owned a
So
landscaping company years and years
yeah.
ago, and that's the biggest way I grew. I actually didn't want to bring on a lot more clients. I initially put flyers on people's mailboxes, and I got, a couple clients, but then I started getting the neighbors and I started getting people right up the street. So my route, was pretty condensed because of all the referrals, which was great. I would just get a call out of the blue and, hey, you cut my neighbor's lawn or you cut my friend's lawn. Can you cut mine? And that turned into my biggest marketing engine was those referrals. I think you need to nurture those. And that ties into customer feedback, making sure everybody's happy, right? Because you don't want to ask somebody that's not happy with your product or service for a referral, right? Because they won't do it. But the ones that are happy, you can do a campaign to them and ask them for those referrals.
100%. And I feel like, yeah, we've done a referral like thank you for a long time. I think it started with like enter a drawing to win a big screen TV, but those are cheap now. And so then it just went to like gift cards. And then my staff was like, it's like the same 5 or 10 people always doing gift cards. And I was like, well, what would be better? And they said, let's support a nonprofit. So now we do that. When someone
Yeah.
refers us, instead of giving a $25 gift card, because we do have laws on how much people can make in our industry based on referrals, we send it to a nonprofit instead that my
Okay.
staff picks.
That's nice.
Super simple, feels really good. The nonprofits are thrilled. The people that are referring are honestly really thrilled too. They're like, oh, that's awesome. Thanks for supporting Street Dog Hero or Boys and Girls Club, feels good.
Short of putting batteries in envelopes, what are some other unorthodox ways to maybe attract some new customers that you might think of today?
Oh gosh. Unorthodox, I see a whole bunch of really good ones. I haven't done the cakes yet. Have you ever seen that where people are starting to send cakes, like a full-on sheet cake?
Oh, really? I don't know. I haven't
Yeah.
heard of that one.
Oh yeah, I've heard that one where they're like, here's a sheet cake for your staff or something like when you're serious, or like I've
Yeah.
seen the empty donut boxes. Like I stopped by 3 times and you weren't there, so I ate all the donuts. Like I've seen those ones online where I was like, that's pretty clever. Um, a lot of times if we're doing we just used to do like little monthly gifts for our real estate agents and mortgage brokers and stuff like that. That's, themed.
Yeah. I
It's
remember when
March.
I
We
was in
should
a
we should do some like cute like gold coins with
yeah.
the made of chocolate, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
I
Don't
think there was
overthink
a
it.
time when allergies became big, right? So
Hmm.
before all these allergies, when I was an account manager, when I couldn't reach a client that I needed to have a call with, there was a couple times, I think it did 5, I sent them like a little jar of nuts and I had a card that said, you'd be nuts not to talk to me. And it actually worked. But this day and
Super
age, you got to be
cute.
careful because of allergies.
Send the nuts. They won't eat them if they're allergic. They'll just be like, oh, and throw them away. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's
And I
cute.
always used to offer, hey, I'll send you an Uber Eats gift card so we can have a
Mhm.
working lunch and have a meeting. Nobody ever took me up on that, but I offered it.
We do a lot of lunches, a lot of cocktail hours. That kind of stuff is pretty common in the industry as well.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, I know.
I have a cohort in my school group because I started a school group for small businesses, and they're plumbers and they're asking ways to grow their business. And you just gave me an idea because plumbers are kind of local, other than
Mhm.
Google Business, maybe doing an event where you do hands-on training, teaching about basic plumbing, unclogging toilets or whatever. Obviously, you can't really bring a toilet with you and like demonstrate, but you can kind of do a presentation and have it be a networking event. Like you said, they can meet local people and they might be able to get business out of it. So that's a gold gem for them. I'm going to make sure to put that in my school community.
Yeah, I was like, they should partner with like an electrician and someone else too, and then partner with like a real estate company or an insurance agency or, right? And you get like a group and you're like,
Yeah.
hey, we're going to go to this HOA and talk about this, or we're going to talk about this with Habitat for Humanity homeowners, or we're going to talk about this with this entire condo association because maybe they're having problems with their plumbing.
Yeah, I remember partnering with realtors. People used to do that too, right? But like when you
All
move
the
in, you get a
time.
package of,
Yep.
here's a landscaper, here's a plumber.
Yep.
Well, just like a brainstorming session.
Yeah, I was like, we like as an insurance agent, like we insure multiple plumbers and multiple electricians. So I feel like I'm like a little connector in the community too. People ask me stuff all the time, like, who do you use? And I was like, oh, I use this person. Oh, you need to chop down a tree? This person. Stump removal? This guy.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, let's
um,
let's move on to the
the
C in
C
the
convert.
ACOR, convert. So now
Yeah,
that we got all this attention, how do we convert?
close it.
Sounds so easy.
Sounds so easy. Um, so in insurance, a lot of the advertising is based on price. They're like, we'll save you money here, we'll save you money there, we'll save you money there. The funny side is the convert side is the side where we're like, oh, but we actually care about you and we're not going to save you that much money because we care about you. It's a trick, right? Like sometimes
Yeah.
we can save money and get somebody great coverage, and other times it's not. Some like other times you have to have the right coverage. So a lot of it is actually done by my team. We do the full quotes. We send them out to lots of different places. We're an independent agent, which means I can quote 15 different locations for your home and auto or your business insurance, right? Instead of a captive agent, a good example is State Farm. State Farm sells State Farm. That's it. That's all they sell. Like there's no other shelf to pull from. They just sell State Farm, which is great. That means that they can control their loss and their marketing and their prices really, really, really well. So when they want to get a certain type of customer, right? When they're like, we only want plumbing companies, man, they're gonna price themselves to get every plumbing company out there, right? Because they
Right.
can. So, like, yes, it's good. But as an independent side, we have a lot more options. And it means that we shop a lot more for our customers, which means we can sometimes get that price in a more, we can kind of get the price down and still get all the coverage. So that's really good. And then once it's closed, we optimize. I know, like, in, I don't know how much you want to spend on the convert side. It's like, you, you're nice to people. You follow up when you say you're going to follow up. You give people timelines and you stick to the timeline. Some of our types of coverage take weeks to place. It is not a one phone call deal. It is not overnight. And just being honest and saying, hey, I am about to get a 5-page document filled out with you. We are going to get loss runs. We are going to get 5 other pieces of information. And then in a week and a half, you'll get a quote. Like, you got to be honest.
Right.
There's
Well,
still people involved. We're not all AI yet.
well, first, I'm the email guy, so I would say, email nurturing is important, right? And I've talked
100%.
about it in almost every episode I've had. But you
I put
brought
that
up
on I put
something
that on the retain. That's on my retain
that's
side.
on your retained side for
My
you.
optimize and retain side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
people
The
might need it
nurturing.
on the nurture side. Like if you're a service provider and you give a quote, you might need to nurture them to the
It's
sale.
true. It's true. We
But
do that too. Yeah.
But
The
you
follow up.
mentioned, hey, you might advertise saving money, but then you may not end up saving them money. But I think it's a perception value thing because what was going on in my brain when you said that is somebody's going to call you, probably most people, right? Some people are switching providers, but somebody
Yeah.
may say, I need insurance to be legal, right? And
Yep.
they think that's the
100%.
problem.
Yes.
But
That's
then
not the
when you start
problem.
asking questions, the cheapest coverage we have that you saw, it's not going to meet your needs. What's
Mhm.
important to you? Making sure my daughter is safe when she's driving because she just got her
Mhm.
license. Making sure my brand new car is covered in case I have an accident. Then you can say, well, that price that you saw is not the best fit for you. Let's talk about this. And I think
Yeah.
people need to learn how to have those conversations with someone because it's okay to do so rather than just saying, oh, well, sorry, that's not the price. This is it. Take it or leave it. You have to explain in the in the middle.
Yes. I think that's one of a really big lesson for anybody to learn when they're buying insurance is that got to kind of understand at least the deck page. Understand who is the insured, that's the name on the policy, what they are insuring, that is what is listed, for how much, and how much is it going to cost you? Because, right, it's a financial tool. This isn't like an end all be all. It's a financial tool that allows you to say, this is a really important, expensive asset for me. Like, let's take a house. You normally don't buy 20 of those in a week. You buy one for 30 years or 20 years or 10 years. It's a very expensive asset. And then you say, I don't have the money to pay for that. So you go to the bank, and then the bank says, great, I will fund that for you. And the bank says, but what if that asset goes away? And you go, great, I'll buy insurance. So if that asset goes away, we'll pay the bank. It's not even for you, really. But then if you want to rebuild that asset, the insurance then pays you. You rebuild that asset, and then everyone's happy.
Yep.
Right? This is a tool. It's a tool to mitigate risk. It's a tool to say, I don't have the $40,000 in my bank account to buy a new car if my car somehow goes off the road and I can no
Mhm.
longer use it.
Mhm.
And
That's a
that's
good way to
okay.
think about it.
Yeah. So, yes, we do have that conversation a lot.
Yeah.
Like at my office, we do not sell state minimum limits. If your
Mhm.
insurance currently is state minimum limits, you are going to be SOL
Hmm.
if you get in an accident. That would be my 2 cents.
Yeah, all we have a few cars and they're all paid off. My wife's, I have full coverage on it just in case. And my
Mm.
car is like really old and I don't go out much anymore, maybe once or twice a week, if that, and it's local. So now I did drop it down to liability because they're not going to give me much for it. And I don't want to buy that same car again at that same year.
Yeah, and that makes sense. But like that's you making a calculated risk.
Yep.
You're saying like, yes, I understand. I understand the risk and I understand that I feel safe with this. And that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With my wife's car, I want to make sure because she loves that car. She loves that color and everything. I would love to get something similar or a little bit newer, put throw some more money at it after the insurance.
Yeah.
But yeah.
100%. 100%.
All right.
So yeah, that convert part is a lot of us educating. I feel that's what we spend like as insurance agents. I don't think people realize this. We spend the majority of our time educating.
Yes.
Yeah. Like
And that's
placing
hard to
coverage and
do over the
education.
phone, I think, too, because I've spoken to my insurance reps over the phone. It's kind of difficult to have that conversation that way. To have like for me to give my full undivided attention. I know they're trying, but I think I need to try to listen more. So if I have a hard time listening, a lot of people probably do.
Yeah, and this is another tip I tell a lot of people. When you buy insurance, it's insuring what you bought at that time, and then things change over time. So, like, you
Mhm.
might update your home office and put in soundproofing or something like that, right? Maybe that was a pretty good investment. Maybe it was $5,000. You should probably have that on your business
Yeah.
personal property coverage, right? Or if you were at home and you were like, I'm going to redo my windows because a cat could walk through them. Great, redo the windows and then tell your insurance agent so that they can say, this house has new windows.
Does that increase the value of the house? Is that why? Okay.
Yes, yeah.
All right.
And then in the event of an accident or a storm or something like that, you're going to get a new window that you had
Instead of a repair. Okay.
instead of a repair. And a lot of times
Oh.
they ask for receipts, and I don't keep a receipt from the Windows replacement I did 5 years ago. Yeah.
With AI, it's so much easier to do all that now because I
I
drop
know.
stuff into like I usually get PDFs or whatever. I drop it into a folder now, and I can just say, Claude, summarize all my expenses. It's really cool.
True. And honestly, I think like in our industry, AI is being used for like policy checking and things like that too, because
Right.
insurance companies change. We'll talk about this later. I'll get back to that later. Okay, skip. We're still on ACOR.
Well, let's talk about optimize then.
Optimize. That's where my email nurturing comes in that you were talking about, that you said
Okay.
you love. We love it too. um, welcome kits, cross-sell campaigns, just touching in within like a monthly newsletter, giving content that we're already creating and putting out there for lead generation to our current customers, education, all of that through email and social media and all the other ways we can touch them. Sometimes even snail mail, like a
Still, it
birthday,
works. People want something tangible. Yeah.
like a birthday card. Or
Mm.
every year I send out handwritten Christmas cards to my top customers. And my hand cramps every year. And I do it every year. I like have pen all the way down.
I miss doing that. I did that when I was an account manager. We took our top 10 clients and we'd send them a holiday card. It was great.
Yep. Holiday cards and gifts. And like those
So,
little thank yous add up.
yeah, emails, cards. What else do we do to optimize?
Um, a lot of emails and cards. That's pretty much most of it. We're an
Okay.
insurance agency. I would love to be probably a little bit more creative. There's times where I get brand ideas, like the battery
Yeah.
campaign and stuff like that. But realistically, a lot of
Yeah.
emails and cards.
I was thinking about septic services, right? Because maybe that's what a 3 or 4 year thing, right? And I know I
Mhm.
have a refrigerator magnet from the company I use, which is smart, but they can use email too because they can trigger it to go out 2 to 3 years after the service to remind them that they, have a need coming up and ask for referrals.
We do the same thing. We ask for the referral, we ask for the Google review. All of that's automated in our email campaigns. We ask for, gosh, what was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, we do renewals every year. So the renewals go out every single year.
Mhm.
Have you had any changes? Let's update your coverage. Do you need a full meeting with us? If not, we'll just renew. And that's where we do a lot of education too, because things have gotten kind of crazy like since COVID. Like COVID kind of ruffled a lot of insurance feathers. So for like in COVID, they were like, wow, no one's getting in accidents. Let's get everyone discounts. And then after COVID, they were like, holy cow, y'all forgot to drive. Um,
You forgot to drive.
and then they raised all the rates. It was fun. It was a fun time. And then with like wildfires, I'm in Oregon, so Oregon, California, Washington, we're in wildfire season right now. Florida, they got hurricane season, same with Texas and Louisiana, all the way actually up the East Coast you can hit with hurricane season depending on the season. All the way through the Midwest. Gosh, hail's been killing them lately. Hail. So a lot of education, just saying like, why are your rates going up? Let's talk about it.
So you said these items and optimize. So now how's that different than retain, right? Because email,
Yeah,
postcards, gifts can
the
be used in a
retain is in
retain.
the, yeah, that's all this. I feel like it's kind of together. Retain is like those retention points for us. It's
Right.
the renewals. Like for insurance agents in general, we want to keep our customers as long as possible. We spend a lot of time and energy placing them in the right place. We spend a lot of time and energy like getting them into the system and getting them there. We need them there for quite a few years, honestly. And State Farm's a great example. They did a lot of studies for a long time, and if you have three policies with one insurance agent, you're more likely to stay with that agent for 5 to 7 years. So State Farm has an entire thing where they say you have to sell three. You have to sell home, auto, life.
Right.
That's State Farm, like right, that you have to. Where for us it might be home, auto, ATV or home auto RV, or if business insurance is different, but there's as soon as you get business, you might have like a BOP or a business owner's policy, and then you'll be like, I've got a business owner's policy, and then maybe you have a business auto, and then if you're a contractor, you've got a bond, and then you've got if you have any employees, welcome to workers' comp.
Yep.
Like right, it starts adding the business one starts adding on. Um, so yeah, a lot of it is just growing with the company as they grow. Like you said, you help like the septic guys and the plumbing guys. We do those guys too. And a lot of times they're pumping or they're plumbing. They're not thinking about their insurance. A lot of times, like we always say it's like the wife or the girlfriend or like the gal in the office that's actually handling all that. You hope anyway. You hope
Right.
there's somebody, because if not, I've seen a couple of contractors' trucks. I know they've got paper just oozing out of their passenger side seat and the phone like up on the thing. But yeah, a lot of that optimize and retain, I think, kind of go together, at least in our little niche.
So that's the ACOR method. The
ACOR.
attract, convert, optimize, and retain, which is both hybrid, optimize and retain. You're doing both at the same
Yeah,
time.
optimize a lot of time is like cross sell. Like you want to
Yeah.
make sure they have like more than one product with you. They might come for the BOP policy, but we want their bond and workers' comp and the everything else. Yeah,
One
move
bill
them
to
into it.
pay. That's probably the biggest leverage.
I wish it is not one bill to pay. That is not how it works. Oh man, I wish it was like that. No. We're like, you have five policies, you have five bills. It could be with five different insurance companies.
Oh yeah.
Like you could have five different renewals. Now,
Oh wow.
if your stuff is like that and you're a small business owner and you're like, I can't freaking remember any of this crap, you can
Yeah.
ask your agent to put it all on the same day.
Mhm.
Will it be a pain in the ass at the beginning? Will you do extra paperwork and probably pay a little bit of extra bills? Yeah, but then
Mhm.
it'll be all at the same time.
Yes.
Make it easier, but it
All
would be a
right.
pain.
Well, here's just something that you and I spoke about off camera, AI and insurance. Now,
Yeah.
you were talking about, or you told me that AI is not covered in general liability insurance. Now, let me see if I know the answer to this before you give me your expert knowledge. Is that because it falls under cybersecurity?
No.
Okay, I'm wrong. I got the quiz wrong.
It's okay. It's okay. So this came out brand new in 2026, like in April. So like we're like, the entire industry is learning about this, and me telling you hopefully is to helping all of the business owners using AI, and we can all learn together. This is fun. So general liability policy would normally cover the AI piece, like the issues with having any false advertising or saying any blasphemous on somebody else about somebody else or anything like that online, right? But there was a couple lawsuits where companies had AI bots answering customer questions. Like just think like the little chat window, like in the
Hmm.
bottom. This is pretty common. And the AI bot promised something that could not or was not possible to deliver. And when the company came back to the customer and said, "Yeah, we can't deliver that," the customer said, "Well, like, I'm suing you. Like, you promised me that you could." Fun. So that didn't get paid by the insurance because of this new line in the general liability that says we ain't covering AI stuff. And cyber's for like ransomware, that's for the phishing scams, it's for the oh no, somebody got all of my passwords that I kept on Google Password. Um, it's for that one, and it does not include the
Okay.
AI either. So with these changes, we now have an AI writer that you can purchase for additional money. See, like this is the insurance companies rolling with the punches here, losing coverage to be able to buy it back. You can buy it back to give you that coverage for your AI use.
Hmm.
You have to
Okay.
ask for it.
So it's a
It's
separate
not,
coverage. What is it
it's
called?
not, they just call it, they're just calling it the AI writer right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
AI writer. Make sure you have an
it's an
AI
AI,
writer, folks,
right?
because everybody's using Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, or a chat bot on their website.
100%. I think where we're gonna see more claims is like that example I just said, where it's like you're you're using AI to maybe like streamline answering frequently asked questions or on the phone, like right, the phone answering AI tech that's out there,
Mhm.
which I get it, answering the phone sucks sometimes. People are mean. Um, like that, I think anytime you're doing it like that, that's where we're going to see it. Or like lawyers are seeing this, right? There's lawsuits with
Mhm.
lawyers who have been using AI that might have not given appropriate advice. And then that would go on their professional liability because they were liable for the professionalism of their advice, right? Going back.
Mhm.
Um, unless the professional liability puts a clause in there, which it might. It's these claims are slowly happening. They're new. We've never had anything like this before. So we're learning.
All right.
The more lawsuits that happen, the more claims that happen, and we'll see where it goes. But yes, if you have general liability and you think you're covered for AI in 2026, you're probably not.
Hmm. Interesting. I learned something.
Fun times.
All right. Before I let Cheri tell you where you can contact her, remember any post. If you have any transactional or broadcast email needs, check out any post. They're really cheap and affordable, and you can grow with them and save money while you're growing. I have a new Skool community, which is the SMB marketing and business tips. I'll drop a link in the show notes for that in case you're interested in checking that out or want to refer somebody to said community. And also, if you're looking for help with your email marketing, I'm your guy. Contact me. I'll help you out. But more importantly, Sheree, how can people find you, connect with you, and ask you questions about AI insurance?
Yeah. So I have a website. It's literally just my name, CheriMartinen.com. There you can find more information about my book that's coming out in September. It's called Covered, The Smart Buyer's Guide to Home, Auto, and Business Insurance. Originally, I wanted the cover to be like a cover up for a bikini, but they decided, nope, that was too forward
Hmm.
for a
Interesting.
business book. Boring insurance business books don't get cute covers, is what I learned. I try. Anyway, so remember that I've got the book coming out. And then now that I've partnered with One Digital, anytime you think of insurance or insurance needs, please think of One Digital. You can ask for me by name on the application on the website, and me and my team would be happy to help you. Like I said with One Digital earlier, one of the reasons I partnered with them is that they're not just property and casualty insurance, that's your buildings and your liability. They're also employee benefits, so helping your business with your employees, keeping them and having them protected with their health insurance, as well as their 401k management, making sure that when they leave you, they can finally retire. Bless them. And then at the very, very end of that, they also do HR and business services, which means if you haven't updated your employee handbook in 3 years, you should probably call us anyway, because that's what HR people are all about. Those nice HR people helping us with our employee handbook to keep our employees happy and healthy so our businesses thrive and survive.
Awesome. I'll have links in the show notes for all this awesome stuff. But until then, make sure you're attracting, you're converting, you're optimizing, and you're retaining, and find out if you need that AI writer or not.
Go look at your coverage. It's fun stuff.
All right, everybody. Thanks, Cheri. Thanks for being here. And everyone, have a great day.
Thank
Bye
you.
now.